of a newly emboldened and in many ways divided Republican Party. The GOP is lining up its leadership in the House, but already there's a potential conflict between the Tea Party and the establishment. Representative Michele Bachmann, who founded the Tea Party caucus, is mounting a bid for the fourth most senior position, which is a direct challenge to the candidate backed by Republican leaders. Let's bring in the company. Susan Molinari, Republican strategist and former New York Congresswoman. Kevin Jackson is a conservative blogger and author of The Big Black Lie. Kevin, let me start with you. Tea Party activists help give House Republicans the majority. Do conservative voters expect payback? Do they expect a Michele Bachmann to be in the leadership?
Oh, I would say that having Michele Bachmann in leadership would be a great thing, but as far as expecting payback, I would disagree with that. I think what the Tea Party movement is expecting is that the Republicans will take this message and run forward with it in the way that it was meant to be, and not a compromise to the positions that Obama's taken, but a repudiation of those positions. You can't discuss things like illegal immigration in America and want to give amnesty without the Tea Party movement saying we're the only country in the world that doesn't want to protect its borders, or repudiation of health care. So Michele Bachmann gets it. There's no question she should be one of the leaders in this movement.
Yeah, we know, Susan, that there are already splits within the Republican Party, and they include things like health care. Some are for repealing everything. Some are saying, you know, we have to do it slowly or repeal only portions of it. There are a whole series of issues on which they disagree, Michele Bachmann being just part of it. How do you see this shaping up as somebody who has worked within the caucus?
You know what? I think, with all due respect, this is much to do about nothing. This is the way politics works. I think the Republican Party clearly acknowledges that were it not for the energy and enthusiasm of Tea Party activists throughout this country, many of whom were disaffected Republicans, the Republicans would be in the majority in the House of Representatives. And of course, in any political party, there's going to be some disagreements around the edges of major pieces of legislation. Your last panel talked about the fact that the Democrats are divided over who their leader's going to be, whether it's going to be Speaker Pelosi or maybe, well, Speaker Pelosi still, or Leader Hoyer. So there's disagreements in the Democratic Party, and I think they're going to have quite a thrashing when it comes to reevaluating what happened in the Democratic Party in this election and how they move forward for 2012. When it comes to Michele Bachmann and Jeb Hensarling, Jeb Hensarling's, pretty conservative too. So I think that there's a very thin line between Michele Bachmann and Jeb Hensarling, and I think that the conservatives in the House of Representatives would find him very acceptable.
Yeah, he certainly has been very conservative on the economy, which obviously is the key issue here.
Right.
Let me ask you, Kevin, about the whole idea of compromise, because we've heard a lot of people talk about it. I had one of the newly elected congressmen from the Tea Party from Staten Island on yesterday. He was not happy about some of the calls, for example, to get rid of Barack Obama in 2012. He thought that was going a little far. But do you think it is much ado about nothing, or do you see that there could be some tension within the Republican Party as we move ahead?
Well, whatever tension that would be created by the people that are saying they want to compromise, I would say for them they're going to be NFL, which is not for long. The idea of what happened, that even had Kanye West saying he feels for George Bush, will give you an idea of how things have changed. There is no compromise. As Obama said before, I won. Well, our compromise is we won. And in this particular case, there's nothing to compromise on. There's been an egregious act by the government against the people. And I mean, so much so that's how the Tea Party movement formed. It's not all blamed on this administration. It's been brewing. But what Obama managed to do was showcase it in all its glory, and the people are tired of it. Money that's going down the drain.
Kevin Jackson, Susan Molinari, thanks to both of you. I'm sorry we're cutting this short. We've had all this breaking news. There is this to report.